What's good? Glory to God. Welcome back. So I do this thing every month on Patreon where I create a drum kit and some other samples. So today what I want to do is go through my process of everything I do to create a drum kit, from chopping a drum break, doing some layering, effects, flattening some pads, resampling kind of stuff, and just like all my pad settings I put on a drum kit for just the little tricks that I do. So everything I pretty much do. I do this about once a month over on Patreon. It's $1, just $1. It's a way to support. If you need samples, go ahead and check it out. There's a link in the description. So I'm going to go through that whole process today. I usually upload samples like the 11th of every month. Now I'm a little late this month, just kind of getting started right now. It's the 12th. So I figured I'd do it live. Y'all could join me. We could chat about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I did some preparation for this. A lot of times I just go through drum breaks and find a general sound that I like. That might be one way of going about things. Just finding samples anywhere. So, you know, if I can find my folder, so it's under Patreon. And I found some drum breaks that I like. And I grabbed like 3 of them and some hits and stuff. What was I saying? I was saying, yeah, I hear a lot of, like, when it comes to like producers putting out sample packs online, they talk about completely unoriginal sounds, no recycled sounds, which is pretty awesome. But there is something to like taking stuff and repurposing it, just coming up with your own sound. So pitching samples, EQing them, layering them, that kind of thing. So that's what I do here. That's what I do over on Patreon. So I'm going to just load up a few drum breaks. Oops, another kick. I don't want that in there yet. Okay, so double click. Throw out that intro music. So I got three drum breaks because I like some of the different elements from each one. Okay, so the chopping process is pretty quick. I don't use like the manual chop, so I'll go trim and then just use threshold, and then threshold chops everything, like all the transient points, right? So that's cool. And then I'm going to go out. I'm going to just go to every one of these drum breaks, chop, hit threshold. Next one, chop, threshold. Pretty quick, super quick, actually. So you don't have to manually press the pads and pick out the chops. This hits it at the threshold, at the, what do you call it? The transient points for every sample. So I get, pretty much at the kick, the snare, the hat, whatever. So from here, I don't usually create a program. So you have the option to hit shift, convert, create a new program from non-destructive slices, or you can have new samples, whatever. I'm not doing any of that. So I'll go out to trim again. I believe I did a video on this, but just going over some of these things that I went over before. This is just kind of my process. So another thing you could do is make sure your Q link is on this light. And then if you use, what was it? I think it's, yeah, right here. So the top Q link will scroll through all your chops. And you see it changing right there. Your different slices is what they're called. So, and then if you press certain pads will trigger. This will trigger from the beginning. It's pad 8. Pad 5. So I can go through and listen to these. All right. And then from here, you could just select one, hit process, extract if you want to just extract that way, right? But I also don't do that. That might be one way of going about it if you just want to chop up drum breaks and you like a few of the sounds. But instead, I'm just going to go out to my drum program. I got like a template drum program that I always use. And then just go over here and then select the drum break. What's going on here? Super quiet for some reason. I got to turn the program down. Yes, I did. Dip, double click, get it to 0. Unity, right? Okay. Program edit. Okay, gotta remember. So I like the kicks from one of the breaks. I like the snares from another break, and I like the hats from another break. I believe I liked the open hat, so I'll just put my open hat here. I believe, and then scroll through and find a chop. There we go. And let's go hi-hat since we're already doing hats. Yeah, so I like the hat from this. Select. Check out a few of the different ones. So I like that one. I'll put another hat here. So I'll use these two. Slight variation, I guess. Let's see what this one sounds like. Do a choppy one. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Let's go back into sample edit. So this is cool because say you're in here and you want to go through and choose a different slice, or even going back into chop. Link slices. So if I'm on slice number 3 and I change this start point, it changes the end point here. But if I turn link slices off, those start points and end points will be independent of each other. So I can do something like that, and then see how the end point isn't affected by the start point of this next chop. That was just something I wanted to mention. But just turn them off, and that's what I'll do here. Just gives you a little more freedom. So we got them off. Yeah. Okay, back out of the program. Okay, I'm gonna turn my mute group on for these. Okay, back to samples. I'm gonna pick my snare. Kind of like this kick. Let's see, this kick. I guess my snare will be from this one. Okay, so that's just my basic outline. So I got a little drum kit, little drum kit here, just made out of 3 different drum kits. So my kick, my snare, and my hats are from all different drum breaks. So this is the first step I'm done with. I'm going to go back in the browser, double click that menu button, get me there. And a lot of times, like, one thing I like to do is like I like kicks that have some mid-range, so some knock, but then also have some bounce. So the thing that I've like always been doing for the longest time is like get that 808 kick, because that 808 kick will provide you that low end and that bounce, right? And then you can layer it underneath and have something that's got some mid-range and give it both some bounce and some knock. That's how I describe that knock with that mid range and bounce with that low, and just how I kind of think of it. So load. Okay, I already loaded it. So if you want a quick way of doing this, sample assign. This is cool. I think this was like a later kind of little trick you could do, in meaning later as in one of the later updates. So if you hold shift, where is that sample even there? Okay, this is what I meant to load. Okay, let me just go ahead and load. So I have a hats. I like a lot. I like the trap style stuff, which is like 808 style stuff. It goes well under breaks, I think. So you get kind of that raw break feel, also with sort of some of that, kind of bouncy 808 feel. So I'm basically just going to do this for today and just use just a couple layers. Sometimes I'll do more than that. But yeah, so sample assign, and then the little trick I was talking about is that you can hold shift. Well, you can drag a sample. So if I drag this over here, it's going to replace. So I don't want to replace that. Undo that. Okay, we gotta load those up again because I messed that up. I had this selected. Make sure it's not selected, right? This is basic stuff. A lot of you probably know this stuff. Don't have any green pads lit. You're gonna load something over the sample, the work that you already done. So all right, just load this kick then. Sample assign. So you can drag it. That'll replace it. But if you hold shift, you can drag a sound and put it on a layer, and you can see it. You can see that. I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but you can select what layer. So this is the second layer, third layer, fourth layer. Okay. So now I have that break kick and this like trap 808 type kick under there. Do the same thing for my snare. Make sure it's selected. Got this snare going there. Sample assign, shift, and then put that on the second layer. What's going on there? Drag it, second layer on pad 2. Okay, and go back and do this with some hats. Load, and load that open hat too. Sample assign. And I'm gonna load this over here and over here. I think my open hat disappeared. I don't know where that went. So let's go. Oh man, let's go to program. And then I was putting that open hat here. So which sample was that? Oh, okay. So actually, did I chop this? Yes, I did. I'm gonna use this because I want to show how I would. I've only done this a few times, but how I can use this as an open hat, although it has a kick under it. How to remove that kick, and then by EQing out those low end frequencies, and then kind of bringing it back so it doesn't sound too thin, but then it just sounds like an open hat. So getting the kick out of the open hat. So I was going to use that other one, but good thing it disappeared because I remembered that I wanted to use this because I had pre-saved these breaks so I could demonstrate this. And so yeah, just kicking back here. So everyone is really quiet. I see people popping in, just kind of lurking. But I like to chat. Shalom. Happy Sabbath. I like to kick it. So yeah, guys, come in, have a chat. I want to just do my process, and let's kick it for a minute. You tell me what you think. What are some things that you do? If you guys create your own drum kits? Maybe you just started, you've been doing it a while. What are some of your techniques? Those kinds of things. Drop it in the comment box. If you're on the replay, or in the chat if you're here now live. So and if you don't, of course, remember the Patreon that I do. So this is my goal here. So hopefully I'll have a drum kit here that I can upload to my Patreon. And aside from that, I'll try to do a loop and a key group. So And I'm a little late, but that's right around this time of the month that I do it. So that's $1 over there. Link in the description if you guys are interested. So let's keep going. And if I can collect my thoughts where I'm at. Well, let's work on this here real quick before I layer it with that other sound. We'll go to effects. I will just double click mix, or not double click, but mix. I like the toggle on this mix. So this is something that I wasn't used to with the MPC ones. I'm not sure if you did it this way. I can't remember. It's a little toggle so you can get between your overall program mix, and then your, individual pad mix. Okay. So first thing I want to do is I want to remove those low end frequencies because I just want this to be an open hat. So what I do with this is air kill EQ. Simple. I mean, there's more complex EQs that you can get, carve a little deeper. But I just really want to get that low end out of there. So let me just test that. Okay. I need to get rid of some more than that. Maybe even some of that mid range. Let's just test it. So. So that's really just some high end frequencies. Yeah, what's good, Solo? You got the MPC ONE? Yeah, I did appreciate the buttons about that. So I got rid of some of that mid range, and then a bunch of that low end. So I went all the way up here to 800 hertz on the low frequency, and then just went down a little bit over here on the mid range, about 10 decibels. So that's the sound of it now. If I turn this off, bypass it, we got that kick. So, all right. So, but it's kind of thin, right? So, one thing I've experimented with is the air enhancer. So this kind of adds frequencies again. So since I've already removed some of those frequencies, if we go in here, I'll kind of just mess around with some of these presets and see if it bulks up the sound a little bit. So that kind of brings in some mid-range. See, this is really an experiment. Sometimes it's kind of like making beats, you know. You don't always make something good, so hopefully this is something that comes out decent. If it's not, then I'll make another kit before I upload to Patreon. Okay, but I kind of like that. It does brings back some of the. So if we bypass these, so my kick, remove my kick, and then add a little more mid range, but it's a little bright. One thing I do to take off some brightness, this is a quick little hack that makes things sound not so harsh. If I go to harmonic section in my plugins and go all the way down to resampler, so right off the bat it's like pretty dull, so it takes off a lot of frequencies. But if you move up to this top Q link, it controls the dry wet, and I know there's other purposes to this plugin, like sample rate, that kind of thing. It's got a decimate knob, but I just pull this dry wet back, and it removes some of that harsh stuff. See that? So it sounds better to me. Okay. From there, I'm gonna go back to the browser and load in that open hat that I had in here. Sample assign it, shift and drag it over to layer 2 on that pad. Okay. So the next step from here is so second tab of samples is to adjust volume levels and pitch. So this 808 trap style hat is way too loud, really harsh there. And go ahead and turn down the break open hat as well, and also mess with the pitch a bit. Okay, it's a decent sound. I'm gonna do this as well on my other hats. Oh, that's completely wrong. Look at my, this needs to be my snare. Something happened there. Kind of like this snare here. What am I doing? That's not the way I do this. Change the slice. All right. Doesn't seem to be chopped. So okay. And then sample sign. Yeah, I like the punch of like 808 snares, right? And then I say the snap of like the drum break. Okay, so back in the program, samples, over to the volume and like panning tabs. I like messing with the pitch on individual layers and just seeing how those kind of blend with each other, and then the volume as well. This is just an experiment with these. Ain't no science to it for me, just tweaking. I guess let me look at the start endpoints on these. Okay, so got layers, all right, basic layers. And now another cool thing with update 2.10, 2.10, whatever, is the drum effects little section that is added to the program. Pretty cool because it gives you like instant effects. You don't have to like scroll through and put in an insert. And then it just adds, like, you can add more inserts, right? I mean, you're limited with 4 inserts that you can throw in and stuff. And I'll do some insert stuff, but to get these knocking a little bit, the soft clipper is nice. And IAMSite put me on that. Yeah, put a soft clipper on your drums. Little secret sauce. Hope I'm not giving too much away. No, I don't care, man. I'm all about giving it all away. Well, it depends on the individual what they're going to do with it, with that information. So, what is a soft clipper? I won't tell you. I really don't. I've never really studied it, but I'm guessing it's a clipper. So it's some sort of dynamics thing, right? Compression. It's raising the volume up. So soft clipper right here. There's one on each pad already. So every pad has its own soft clipper. Has its own any of these you can change them, right? So soft clipper, turn it up. Not a science, just a experimentation. It's gonna make it knock a little bit more. Harmonics, he said, solo. For sale was good. Quick question: are the menu options and the screens the same on the One, Live and X, all the same as the Touch, even though it's a controller for the PC? Yeah, the menus, everything like in the software that you see on the screen is all the same with all those. Just different hardware, right? The X has more knobs. The One has more buttons. So pretty much, yeah, everything is the same inside. So you're good with either one, anyone that you want to go with. It's just what you want physically, that you can put your hands on, that's different. And the basic stuff like the battery and the speaker on the MPC, the X with like all the knobs and like I believe XLR input, phantom power, those kinds of things. So you see that it pushes. It's a harmonics thing, Solo says. Okay. I mean, it sounded okay. And I'll push these up a little bit. Don't do too much. But it beefs them up. So I'm not sure how I feel about this kit so far. I'm gonna go back into the program edit and sample section and kind of mess with. It's fun just to like go to the master and also just tune your whole program. That extreme. But anyways, these are some basic things. Even if I don't come out with a kit, I think this is some good information that you can use, right? If you've never really gotten into making your own drum kits, and this is just the process I pretty much do every time, and a lot of it is. So I guess it's a science in a way that I'm using the same. It's a methodology. I'm using the same techniques most of the time, but a lot of it is chance, just experimentation, process of elimination. This sound doesn't sound good with it. This sounds good. But I just basically I saved up these sounds so that I was somewhat prepared when I came on this live. And because I don't like these streams to go, I don't want to be on here late, super late. just because I do these early in the morning, right? So I kind of want to have some kind of organization to it. But ideally, I probably wouldn't use. We're just. I guess we can. I'm just going here, and it's good we have. So I'm chewing some food. We have a way of searching. Searching for a specific sound. So I want to add another kick to another layer of a drum sound to this. Just search for kicks. I like this. Now I think that's actually a kick. This is a kick already made for another month on Patreon. A lot of these are actually. Yeah, a lot of these are. So here's just some examples of some kicks from other months of Patreon. Oh, and by the way, like if you go on there and you join my Patreon for $1, I think it charges you like the first of every month. But you'll have access to like all the samples from like previous months. So that's just how it works. It's like the kingdom of heaven, pretty much, if you get that reference. Do you get that reference? Solo, do you get that reference? You still in here? Okay, so a lot of these are already like layered kicks. I guess I gotta back up even more if I can, so I can get access to kicks in the whole every single folder. All right, we just want samples. I don't necessarily want to layer my new pack with kicks that are already layered. I guess why not? I don't know why this is being so limited here. I feel like okay, let's search them here. Kick. It's really, I know I have more than just these kicks. Okay, because it's searching through the Patreon. Okay, so this is how you change it. It says includes subfolders. I'm not trying to search just through my Patreon. It's just searching through my Patreon. Sorry, guys. It's just searching through. I guess you have to be. I'm going to go to my more drums folder and then look up kicks. This is just stuff that I've acquired. There we go. All right, a bunch of stuff here now. Yeah, I'm gonna check y'all out over here. So maybe I'll get through the whole sample pack creation, but I usually in these streams end up like getting in the chat because that's kind of one of the things I appreciate the most about this. But yeah, for sale, you say, okay, thanks, because the touch was all I could afford, so I got it. Now when I can get the one, I'll be good to go for sure. How long have you had the touch? Yeah, so I mean, you definitely be set like if you got the MPC Live, because it's like exactly the original MPC Live. It's like exactly the same layout as the touch, right? Just with the standalone option. I feel like maybe this kick needs a little bit more mid-range, so maybe one of these kicks in here will provide some of that, a little more knock. Oh, come on. 808, 808. I like that one. Okay. Doesn't matter. I take whatever. Nothing's off limits. Okay, let's see if I can make that work though. Already over here. Soft clipping. I mean, I don't like it. I just tweak until I like it. And it's just really, I feel like the the pitch and the level of those layers of each layer really affects the overall sound. See how it's even changing? Because like whatever layer is like kind of dominating. Let's see. Primo Ultra was good. Can you break down how people make a bass kit? I'm not even sure what you mean. If you can expand on what it is you're asking for. A bass kit. Shalique's Beatmaker. I use SP12 drum kit. What do you mean? On my MPC ONE, there's an like what is that, like a stock plugin, or I mean a stock drum program? SP12 drum kit. I haven't looked at it, but yeah, I'm gonna do my next stream. I'm gonna do a beat making stream using stock sounds, because everyone always talks shit when it comes to like MPCs. Is the stock sounds? It's like throw them away, but I want to kind of just explore that. Apollo Brown drum kit is heavyweight. That's what's up. I'll have to check that out. Put me on if you can. There'll be a link in the comments. What is it? For sale, you're saying? They said it was in poor condition, but it was fully functional. All I had to do was find a power adapter. What is that, for the touch you got? Okay, I kind of like that better. It really makes a difference. Like, hold on. Make sure to take advantage of your cooling. So I can control the level of all my layers with this really quickly. So listen to this. I've got this second layer all the way down. I start to bring it in, and it's subtly there. It's like really quiet, right? It's only at 16. So it's a subtle level, but look how much of a difference it makes, like when you pull it back. It sounds like a thin kick, and then this 808 trap style kick really adds some depth to it, even at like a low level. Bring it up all the way, it's a little too much. Okay. It's like the break that I chopped, that kick part really kind of brings the character. So more of the high end. Mess with the end point on that. Okay. All right, now these other layers. Snares. This is kind of my process. I'll just tweak, and then just like finger drum to see if it feels good. That's usually the ultimate test. If it doesn't feel right when I'm finger drumming, and then it's like a no-go, but it feels all right. Again, I was going to leave it at simple, just 2 layers, but it just doesn't, it's not good enough. So I'm going to go searching for some more snares. So this is a hell of a process, guys. Y'all do this? Y'all spend time on this? Kind of like that right off. So bring that to layer. Let me see, where's that? Okay, bring that to layer 3 on pad 2 where my snare's at. Bam. Okay. Over here. I'm gonna cut some of that tail off the snare on the break layer. And I kind of like to leave the tails kind of sloppy. So like that's kind of clean, but all right. So oops. I'm gonna check y'all in the comments a little bit as I do things. Oh, okay. Let me see. For sale. Yep. $80. Not bad for a touch. Cool. Excuse me. Worm juice. Got you. Let me check out the comment. I released a tool for the MPC. It's free to use by anyone. If you would like to take a look, where can I drop a link? It allows for rapid filing of all 128 pads on a drum program. Oh, okay. That sounds cool. So it's like a computer software, like a program creator. Yeah, I'll check it out. Where's a good place? IG. Are we connected on IG? Are you on Instagram? I think that'd be a quick way of doing it, because I usually get notifications for IG right on my phone, so it's easy. If you drop it there, I can just click a link, and I'm not usually on my computer very much, but yeah, that's something I could check out. That sounds like something I've actually heard of a lot of people trying to look for something like that. But of course, people are asking, is it possible to do in the MPC itself, just like instant assign samples to a program, which it's not possible. So yeah, good idea that you got there. Solo, where you at? A hit hat would layer nice with that. A hit hat would layer nice with that kick. Oh, like a hi-hat with the kick. Ali was good. I've been recoloring a lot of stuff with the 4/4. It's been wicked so far. Also, fine sequencing on the 4/4 is super easy with the MPC2. You got the MK2, Ali. We got some spam comments. Those have been popping up. Interesting. Must mean I'm doing something right. All right. Primo Ultra bass kit. Okay. I want to assign different bass notes to pads, exactly like you were doing. I just joined the stream, so I'm trying to follow along. Okay. Yeah. So you'd probably be talking about a key group. So it's a little different than a drum program. And if you sample in, so like by default, like most samplers, if you sample in C and you put it into a key group, it'll map. Like if you're just using that one sample, it'll map directly to so like if this is the key group program, right? This icon, bam, and then you go to menu, program, and then you assign the sample there. All right. And it's a C. then it'll map correctly to your keyboard. And then in there, you also have the ability to create like multi-samples, right? You can do more than just one sample. So, and then when you go in, you can assign each one of those samples to a note range. All right. So I'll basically leave it at that. So I'm just assuming you weren't aware of what key group program. So that's something I can get into at another time, at another stream, but we're just focusing on drum kits there. Hopefully that helps. But that's definitely relevant, because what I'm doing here is I'm putting a drum kit together for my Patreon. And on my Patreon, I'll do a drum kit, also a key group program, and loops. So key group program, that's very relevant. So maybe something I'll do in a future stream. But I'm just getting this drum kit ready for this month. And then I'm a little late. I'm running behind on putting these samples together. But yeah, if you want to check that out, man, you need some Primo. If you need some bass, you need some key groups, you can check out the Patreon. There's a link in the description. It's like $1 a month thing. So yeah, man, if you ever find value in this stuff, then go ahead and check it out. But yeah, I mean, it's been a while. So if you're like a new subscriber, it's kind of been a while since I've done MPC tutorials, or even been active as much. I used to like kind of just do a video every week, but I'm kind of I've been slowly drifting away, in and out, kind of coming back here and there. Brandon Stanfield, a high pass and a low pass EQ in the layers menu would be handy. In the layers menu. Yeah, I definitely think so. Like if you could do individual, I don't think it's possible still. That's something I've definitely requested. Like if you can do individual, let me get back to my drum program. If you could do where am I at? Where's my drum program? I didn't just ruin everything I was doing, did I? I think I was putting everything on a different bank, possibly. Yeah. Okay. I'm on bank D. So yeah, like what you're saying, Brandon. I think what I requested was, since you have a filter for every drum pad, it's like if you could break it down to a filter at least for every layer, that would be definitely a lot more helpful. So I did a video about drum layering a while back, where it was like an advanced trick where what you could do is use, like in the master section, you can do simultaneous play, and then you could have like this kick, this pad trigger, this pad, and this pad, and this pad, right? Because you could do up to 4 layers. So you could have this one pad triggering up to 1, 2, 3, 4, and have 5 layers, and then you could individually EQ those EQ or filters. You could do the EQ in the plugin inserts, but then you have filters per layer, so you could just do that. But exactly what you're saying, if it was per layer, that would be the ultimate thing, because I mean, layers I think have been around on MPCs for a while, but the effects have been kind of limited. Even like the filter, I mean, this is way advanced, but put a filter on each layer, make those. It does definitely make layering drums a whole lot better if you could do that. For sale, I think it's worth taking the time to make your own kits like this. Yeah, I think it's something that, you know, every beat maker, if you identify as a beat maker, should try, because it's finding your own sound, I think. But if beat making isn't your number one thing, or if you just want to if you consider yourself more of a composer, you know, it's always fine to like just find quality sounds and just get to working and making music, get to creating. But yeah, I'm getting into this. Like I myself have bought lots of kits. Like when I first started, I would buy kits, you know, because it kind of helps you find what you like and kind of get inspired. So I did a lot of that early on. and I'm still doing it because it helps me too, you know. Just just like to kind of understand the quality level of some of the things that are out there, and like what are, you know, because I'm trying to do this. I'm kind of like dipping my toes into sound design, and that's what I'm doing with the Patreon. It's kind of a practice for that, you know. I'm not saying like I'm like this amazing sound designer. So what I'm doing over there is putting sounds together, and this is kind of the process. So I'm giving you like a little in-depth process of what I'm doing. So it sounds okay. I think these were all the sounds I was gonna do. I like to get a crash in there, but crashes are kind of harder to come by. I don't find them as much. So are the open hats. Okay, so another thing. From here, once I got layers down, pitched, volume set and stuff. Excuse me, I'm burping a lot here. I think effects is kind of one of the next things, because I can really get these things knocking even more. And I always like just go for the Air Kill EQ because it's simple. It doesn't require a lot of thought on my end. I could probably challenge myself and go beyond this. I see King O Caesar, you in here? What's good, brother? Thanks for dropping in. Worm Juicy on Instagram. Well, then send me an email. liftednoise@gmail.com. The noise though isn't like my YouTube handle where it's spelled with an S, you know, like noise is spelled, but it's with a Z. And I can't remember why I did that. Why in the world I would do that? But yeah, that's what my Gmail is. Liftednoise, NOIZE @gmail.com. What's up, Lizzie? Your shirt coming in today? All right. Thank you. I still ain't ordered the ones I was telling you about though. But yeah, I'll order them soon. Get you that nice red XL. I'm not sure what colors I'm gonna get myself. I think I like cream. So yeah, what King O Caesar's talking about, I do also have shirts. It's just I have one shirt design. I don't think I have one laying around here, but actually I'll go see if I can grab it real quick. All right, I found it. It's kind of wrinkly because when I do laundry, I just throw it in a bag and bring it home from the laundromat. Don't even fold stuff. But yeah, I think this might be a cream color. So yes, United We Stand Alone. So I'm a standalone all the way, MPC beatmaker. So I guess I take pride in that a little bit. I just prefer it. I'd rather not be looking at the computer screen and all the other distractions that come with it. And there's plenty of distractions that come with looking at a computer screen. So yeah, I made a shirt for the standalone. For the standalone fellas. So that's what it looks like. It's not that wrinkly though. I don't usually wear this because I bought this is an XL right here. But excuse me, I'm turning the whoa boy. Turn the volume way up. I wear a large, I think. This is kind of baggy on me. This is an XL, so and I'm like 5'6". So if you're under like 5'7", probably get an XL. I guess it depends on how much you weigh though too. But yeah, so it just says United We Stand Alone, Lifted Noise. It's kind of a pun, get it? United We Stand Alone. How do you do that? How do you unite and stand alone? by making beats with an MPC without a computer. That's how. But yeah, those are on Teespring. There's a link in the description too. It's like right under the Patreon link. And I made them as cheap as possible. So I think I get like $5 when you buy one. I think someone bought one in the past. That was probably you. That was funny. Like I was looking the other day. I was like, oh, someone bought one. But yeah, definitely you, King O Caesar. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. I'm gonna get you that XL. He accidentally got himself, or they sent him a small, and he's definitely not a small. So you gotta fix that. Ali, yeah, you got the MKII. Word up. I use the program to make mega kits, like a kick that has 120 different kicks. Oh, really? Yeah, kits that have just all kicks. Yeah, I don't really like that anymore. Just because I'm this weird. I just have a thing with clutter. Like I'm always trying to get super organized. And I was telling King OC this earlier today. I was talking to him. I hate the clutter. I just want things to be precise. I like the minimalistic thing. It's probably kind of why I like standalone. Like everything has its purpose. So if I'm gonna have a program with a bunch of kicks on it, I'm not using all those kicks. So it kind of bugs me. I know it might sound like an OCD weird thing. It just kind of bugs me. And then again, the way that programs work in the MPC, until maybe we get DistroKid, you're resaving those programs into every project. So you're taking up a lot of space and you're just having duplicates of that program. So maybe it's not a problem to you. Maybe you got plenty of space on there. But yeah, I think it's just kind of, bothers me. So, all right. So anyways, I was right here on my kick and I inserted an air kill EQ. I'm going to beef it up even more right here. So I can adjust the low frequency range, or the exact frequency that I want to attenuate, or what's the word for increase? That's not it. So I'm gonna go right around here. Just kind of sweep through what sounds good. 90, about 90. Might be too much. Back down. Just give me a little more knock. I'll go with that. I won't overdo it. And then I'll do the same thing with the snare, but instead focus on the mid-range a little bit. Maybe take some of the highs off. These hats are still too loud. Let me turn them down a bit. And all this stuff is going to get flattened eventually. Okay. I kind of like some of that highs in there. Okay, may not be necessary. And then I also like messing with towards the bottom of my inserts. I like messing with the who was talking about the SP12 kit, but I like to use the plugin in here and some of the vintage effects on my drums. It kind of adds some noise. It's subtle. I like what it does though. And I might put like another vintage effect above it, like the 60. It's very subtle, but I feel like it adds an extra knock, a little extra dimension to it. I'm gonna go into my mix and just turn on the overall. So I'll go into the snare as well and do this. I put the SP12 vintage effect at the bottom. Kind of adds a little snap to things. Go ahead and do it on the hi-hats as well. It does something to it. I've never owned an SP12, but I know how much hype is behind it. And the 60 and the 3000. I would love to get my hands on some of those MPCs. Like, I really would like to try a 60 or 3000. Although the user interface looks ridiculously confusing on an MPC 3000. So I wouldn't be too interested looking at that. But I like the sound of what this does with some of these things. So, and I like to put them in like a series, just like it's so damn subtle. I don't know if any of you guys use this. And I don't know if my mind's just playing tricks on me. But I hear a slight depth. Like, it sounds slightly punchier when I add the 60. And like the 1200 adds like a little bit of this little noise that's just kind of pleasant. And I stay away from like the SB12 ring. I'm not a big fan of that. I mean, I know people like that sound, but I don't. I kind of like the hiss that the SP12 plugin adds, and I don't know what that is, what that function is on an SP1200. Do you have like a ring option or what? Or is it like a sample rate down grade or resample function or something that adds the ring or what? But anyways, messing with these. I put a 60. I'm not sure it's really necessary all the time. And sometimes I really do question whether it's just my mind telling me, oh yeah, the MP60, all the hype. And then if I put the plug on it, yeah, I feel like I hear something. You know what I mean? So I do gotta, if it's something that's very subtle, it might be a placebo effect. I'm just being honest with you guys. But what do y'all think? Did I sell? I am on. Okay. Oh, you said I am on Instagram. Oh, you just figured that out. Brian Fletcher. I don't know. I'm a little embarrassed when it comes to like buying gear and selling gear, Brian. So yeah, like I won't admit it at first, but and a lot of y'all probably just like be like, what? Because I know it's so hard to get your hands on that. But I ended up moving on from the 404. Just because my priorities changed a little bit. And I had big plans for that actually. Like some things I wanted to show you guys. Some like workarounds, because I just love doing the workaround thing. And I had plans for other units like that as well, like with the circuit rhythm. But I just didn't get there. I think I'll always kind of come back to the MPC just because it's, even though I do feel like it's a little bit dilute is not the word. It's just a little bloated. I've talked about this before in the past quite a bit on how just like all the features, even though it's still just like the best standalone thing you can have. And I haven't experienced the Machine Plus, but that's kind of early to even say that it compares, so just all around and the things that I'm trying to do. Like write songs, just the fact that I have 8 audio tracks and the fact that I haven't actually done it, or it's been in my, I've spoken this as my word that I'm going to record songs here and I haven't actually completed one. I just got to do that. So, and I'm not the kind of person that is making a ton of money from this word or just have a ton of money from my day job where I can just have expendable, cash to spare. So I end up going through gear. It's fun. Like I can try stuff and then sell it, try other stuff. So yeah. Anyways, I wasn't even gonna get on tonight. I was actually falling asleep. See what else is going on. Just trying to get through the chat. I appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, so just making this drum kit for my Patreon, which I'm late on. So I'm sorry, guys, if there's any Patreons in here right now. Thank you guys, by the way, to all my patrons. I always say my Patreons, but it's patrons. It is Patreon, it's my patrons. So thank you, everyone who's been supporting me and stuck with me. I know some people have joined and left, and it's all good. I appreciate the support thus far. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, if you sign up, it's like $1, and you actually have access to all the past samples. So I mean, it's at least over a year worth of samples. So at least 12 drum kits. I think it's more than a year. It might be 2 years worth. So like 12, at least 12 drum kits, 12 key groups, 12 loops, some with stems. There's a few months where I put multiple key groups. So Brian Fletcher, I never owned, well, I didn't sell the Black Live. I did sell the Black Live, but after that I got the MPC ONE, and then I sold the MPC ONE when I had the SP, got the retro. King of Caesar, love the shirt. Got them blood red Jordan 11s. I'm aware with them. That's what's up. Jersey Boy Beats was good. Having access to the effects on board makes a world of difference, especially using the vintage mode on certain sounds. Matthew Stratton, morning. Good morning. Hey, brother. Yeah, let's talk soon. My bad. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, you called me this morning, I believe, but it was like way too early for me. I'm never up that early. So I don't know what time you're at. I don't think we're on the same what you call it, time zone. Being that I'm in California, but whatever time it was for you, maybe it was like 9. It was like 6 a.m. for me or something. I saw that you were called. But yeah, let's link up. I did talk to King of Caesar about some of the things you're interested in doing. So I appreciate you stopping in, man. Let's talk tomorrow if possible. Shoot, I'm trying to keep up with this. I'm messing up. And I want to get back to finishing this. It adds a hit of grit or dirt. Yeah, you talking about the vintage plugins? Those retro filters do make a difference. 60 is good for kicks, 3K much better all around. Oh, so you got your hands on both of these? Yeah, I'm jelly. For those that don't know, the APC 40 MK2 cases work for the MPC Live 2. It fits perfect. That's what's up. I've never seen those, so I have to look into it. APC 40 MK2. Love the MPC. I have an APC Mini. Does that one work with MPC? Well, if you're talking about cases, I don't know if it would. He's talking about case. I think it will. We will see some new Roland samplers that take them up to the MPC level based on the MK2 new shit. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I thought the Roland Verse Lab looked kind of interesting when that first popped up, but probably because it was aimed towards like songwriters, rappers, maybe. I thought it looked cool, but still haven't tried that. I don't know if it's really generated too much interest. Matt's in the chat asking what he's doing with his machine. Matt, you got a machine? No way, Matthew. Did you really? We ain't seen no videos yet. Oh, it's on though. That's cool. And you know what? When I sold the one and I was just sitting here with the SP, I was like, man, I was itching and I was like, okay, MPC Live 2, $1,300 machine. I've been wanting to try that. Yeah, I got close to picking one up, but there's a project that I've been working on with the MPC that I've gone back and forth on, and I've kind of abandoned. But I just wanted to pick that back up, and so that's why I got the MPC. I've just been on this MPC platform for so long. It's just like I just feel like the next thing that comes out, I might just have to grab. You gotta check the measurements. All good. I got a 4.4 MK2 also, but went back to the Live 2. The Live 2 is limitless and works better for what I do. It would be cool if you could plug the APC to MPC, record live clips for freestyle jams. Oh, Matt, have you ever done like Matthew, have you ever done like an Ableton Live MPC kind of video? Have you ever used those things together? I don't even know if you use Ableton or not. I really don't, but it looked kind of interesting. Like what is it? What is this? Remote MIDI for Ableton. All right. I can't believe you got rid of the new 404. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. You called snap. I am Eastern time, so yeah, you're like at least 3 hours. I mean, yeah. I'm usually up by like 9 a.m. 9:10. Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna be home. I'm gonna be home with the babies. Just gonna be me and my newborn tomorrow, probably around that time. If you hit me in the morning, but hit me at if you hit me. If you don't, I'll hit you because I'm sure you'll be already going since you're Eastern time. It's 7 a.m. for you now. Well, it is 4 a.m. for me now, which means I needed I wasn't even gonna do this because I got started 2:30 a.m. and I was already in bed, kind of dozing off. The King of Caesar made me sell my machine. Really? With that, this is why the MPC is better. That video. I'm trying to sell it. I feel like maybe not though. You haven't shown us anything with it, have you, Matthew? If you have a positive frame of mind, you can manifest positive things in your life. Alicia Dixon. Richard Brown. There you are, brother. Always coming with that the words of encouragement. Yeah, you got the plus, man. I've been wanting to try that. But there's something. Do you have, Matthew, do you have a MPC Live 2? It is weird because the one thing that people of course hated on the MPC for, that was tacky gimmick, this right here, the grill, the speaker. The one thing that just stands out about it is it is pretty wild because you have a built-in battery that you can literally just take this out wherever. You put this in a bag, you can take this out, and I've been taking it to work a little bit, and you need nothing else, just this, literally just this, and you can make beats. I mean, literally any other machine, you would at least need 2 other things: a place to plug in, power cord, right, and some headphones. Yeah, that'd be great to see some videos. I'm going to release a vid for Marchionus Plus today. What was that word, Marchionus? I've been kind of curious in the force lately. I think Matthew, you said it was just kind of a terrible workflow though. Okay, I need to get back to kind of making this drum kit, guys. The reason I was here, so let me do some of that, and then I'll get back in the chat and wrap it up. Gotta be out of here. Let me try to be out of here by like 4:30 a.m. Western time. So okay, so with the hi-hats, I'm also gonna do kind of similar things. Is I'm gonna bring an EQ, air kill EQ, but I'm gonna go in and take off some of that low end. Run down 12 dBs at 200 hertz. It's like 175 hertz. Okay. Do that here as well for this app. Don't need those super low frequencies on my hi-hats. Well, let's go back to 200. Oops. Okay. Okay, we'll do the same thing. Already got that going on here. All right. Okay. All right. There's a few things I need to get through here. So, okay. So in program edit, you've got that little arrow, right? All right. So this month, I usually just name these by the month. So what month is it today? Today? March. Okay. March. Kick. I said March 22 for the year. Kick. Okay, so we flatten that pad. I've committed to those effects and all. I'm just going to go through and do this for every one of these pads. March 22 snare. Flatten pads, an awesome thing. I wonder if Machine even has anything like that, but it's a dope thing for sound designing. Yeah, and I wish they would do something like this for key groups as well. Okay, March 22. Spelled March wrong. Hat. And this is one of two, so one. Let's do this again. Yeah, this is the tedious part. Not interesting to watch. I really should connect a Bluetooth keyboard to this. I do have one, but it's connected to my Windows tablet. March 22, hat number 2. Okay. Do it. Let's do the open hat. All right. March. It's March, right? 22. Whoops. March 22. And I'll put O hat for open hat. All right. Okay. All right, next step. So okay, master, right? My closed and open hats need to be on the same mute group, so the open ones or the closed ones are cut off. Okay, and then I want to copy the snare I want 2 snares, so I'm going to copy the snare. Copy. This is so I can do like some roll things. So I'm going to change some things here. Go to envelope, kind of cut some of the attack and make it a little duller. And then also filter, take some of the high end off of it. Then I'll go to like the mix, make it quite a bit quieter. So our rolls will sound a little more natural. And then this is a new feature. I did a video specifically on this, so it's a cool way of creating like a drum snare, like a flam, roll flam kind of thing. So I'm going to take this pad and I'm going to set it to note off. So note off, the way it behaves is once you press it, you won't hear anything until you let go, right? But if you go and select simultaneous play and then turn this to pad A2, which where my other snare is at, when I press it, it'll trigger pad 2. Okay, it's not. Okay, not A2, because I'm way over here. I'm usually putting my drum kit on pad bank A, so it's really D2. Let's go all the way over to D2. This works best with full level off. I usually have it on. Okay, so there we go. Basic things I like to do. I think that's pretty much it for my settings. I mean, one thing you could also do is like take this kick, copy it, and then create some variation, make it sound a little bit different by, it'll make like a ghost note kick. Maybe do some fine tuning of the pitch, not semi-tune. Just so it's a subtle difference. So you got the volume down a little bit and the pitch, the semi or the fine tune. And then also maybe the same thing I did with the snares, kind of take some of the attack off. So it's a slower attack, and then also some of the high end by filtering that off to the cutoff a little bit lower. Okay. And then another element that I like to do is get some sort of sound that all the sounds can have in common, like a layer for all the sounds, and it kind of creates this space. So like when you hear a drum kit, like say on a record, you'll hear like a room noise, like a reverberation, right? Because it's in that room, so it's echoing, it's reverberating in that room. So that drum has a common space. So it sounds like a cohesive sound. So a lot of these sounds weren't recorded in the same room. So one thing we could do is just add reverb, which I will do. But what I want to do is find a sound that I can layer on all of these sounds so that they sound like they're in the same room to make them sound more cohesive. So something I do sometimes is just take some vinyl crackle. But I think what I'll do, so the thought I had was to record the room noise that I'm in right now, and I could just do it live and then add it to a pad. So maybe I'll turn the volume up quite a bit, like that, and just not say anything, record a little bit of it. So let's try that. I'll try not to move because you can hear my clothes rustling around. Okay, I recorded like 10 seconds. I feel like you can hear some, like the TV on. It's in the room. We usually have like the TV on with some like mellow music playing when we sleep. But yeah, this is some noise. Oh, did I save that? I don't know. Let's see. Might have to do it again. What in the world? Okay, so I'm gonna put it here. Let's see if it's saved. I think I have to record it again. Let me record it real quick. Double click that mix button. Okay. Title this room noise. Turn that mic down. Okay, and it's gonna go here. Am I even gonna like normalize it? Whoops. I'm gonna normalize it. Just make it really obvious. Maybe even put an SP1200. Oh, that's very loud. Let me not normalize it, but I will add a gain on it and adjust it a few decibels. I don't know if this is gonna sound any good at all. Where's the discard at? Oh, I don't see discard. Oh, because I'm on slice. There you go. Okay. All right, so that's. All right, so what I want to do is I'm gonna master. I don't want this on one shot. I want it on note on. So I may make that a little louder. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, like I did before with the snare, is I'm gonna use simultaneous play and trigger this noise. So that is D9. Let's see, D9. See? So it adds that little, and I'll probably turn it down, but I'm gonna do this with each one of these. I have it trigger that noise. I won't always put it on every single note, but let's just see how it goes when I do. Sure, I like it so much on that open hat. Or even on the hats. Maybe just on the kick and the snare. So I got a lot of this mic coming in. go to effects and add like let's add this SP12 in here. Just thought it'd be interesting. Let's see. Mix, let me turn that noise down a bit. Okay, and then let's go to mix, go to the overall program mix. Maybe add a reverb. I think I'm coming up on about the end of what I would do. Of course, reverb is like putting this drum kit in a room. We actually have a drum room. That sounds like dope, man. But yeah, I'm not gonna do that. We'll go a little more subtle than that, right? We just mess with the mix. With the sloppy finger drumming. But yeah, high-low frequency in that reverb. I think, let's see if I remember how to do this. Probably easier if I turn up the mix first and then. Okay, so I think that's about all I have to share. Went through what I usually do, my process, chopping, layering, EQing, processing, flattening my pads, yeah, adding like a room, some kind of room noise that kind of brings everything together, and some reverb, a little subtle reverb, also to glue that and kind of place it in a space. It's a learning thing for me, man. So let me get in the chat, see what y'all are doing, and then try to wrap this up. Already past 4:30. Gotta get some sleep so I can not be a grouch and be a good example to my babies. Where you guys at? Force and Live is a match made in heaven. Yes, Matthew makes some videos. Ever tried Superior Drummer? I have not. That's my thing at the moment. It gives you a soundstage design platform possibilities. Okay, sounds cool. Yeah, but you know, like I said, I don't really play around with the software. I have, you know, I got into Contact a lot and some East West sounds, Logic. I started out with FL Studio, but not much of anything lately. Get yourself a refurbished MPC Live 2. Well, that's okay. As long as it works. Live 2 is a beast. Speaker is great. Took to my girlfriend's house. There you go. I see that's where you been, huh, Matthew? Been at the girl's house. Richard Brown. Yeah, been a long time, bro. Thank you for stopping by always. When it comes to editing drums, the MPC is king. Between layering and cycle sampling and effects, it's a no-brainer. I've used Brian Fletcher. I've used Quality Sampler a little bit on Android. I have that on there. I've got it on my tablet on my phone. I haven't really sequenced anything with it or made any beats, but I think it's like probably the dopest thing on how it samples. It's like the easiest thing to do to sample. Like seriously, click and hold one pad, let go when you're done sampling. That is like the best sampling workflow I've ever seen. Someone put that in a hardware sampler and it's over. Like that, just that methodology of sampling. It's fire. Like it's better than the SP. Like the SP is quick the way you sample, right? Not having any windows. And yeah, I mean MPC is good. But imagine if I could really just press and hold one of these MPC pads and let go, then it's sampled and assigned already. Like there's nothing else you got to do. That would be pretty great. I've never used Beatmaker 3. Cool, it's intuitive. Prefer the workflow and how creative I get when using it. That's what's up. Jersey Boy Beats was funny. I barely get on my computer as much unless I'm working on different projects. Standalone makes you focus on the tools right in front of you. Yeah, I mean, and as much as it is limited compared to using computer, it's still got a whole ton of features, a whole ton of possibilities. Meek Spirit was good. Good morning. Yeah, it is morning, but I'm ending here. It's probably about my night. Pretty soon, I gotta get to sleep. I would have gotten MPC X, but since I play keys, I got a Jupiter X. Is that new, the Jupiter X? Because I had my eyes on like the Jupiter, I think it's XN, like it's a mini one. But yeah, the X is, I've never even seen one in person, honestly. But I really would like to see how much improvement it is on the workflow just having those extra Q links. Jezza, what's up? About to get on yours. I got jealous. Khalil was good. No doubt for sale. Salute. Always a pleasure. All right, yeah. Well, I made it through the chat, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all being here. I would hang out and chat for a good moment longer, but it is nearly 5 a.m. and I need to get my ass down. So I had a good time, and I'm gonna save this up. I think this will be the pack for this month. I think it's pretty decent. If you guys want it, Patreon link in the description. $1 monthly sample packs. You get this drum kit, and I'll come up with some kind of key group and a loop to go with it. All right, Young Batman, thank you for dropping in. Good morning. Sorry to say, coming at the end, I'm about to sign out and say goodnight, but please do watch the replay. I was just sharing my whole process and workflow on creating a drum kit, and we got through it. We had a little chat, and but yeah, if y'all interested in the samples, interested in the t-shirt, once again, if you're standalone and you appreciate standalone and you're a proud standalone user, whether it be Machine Plus 2 or SP404, MPC Live One X, that's my shirt. And I'm gonna come up with some other stuff later on. I'm looking forward to getting to 10K subscribers, just so I can have that little shelf, that little official shelf underneath that has all your t-shirt designs from Teespring. I don't know, I always just think that looks cool and official. But yeah, I'll come up with some other designs there. But get the shirt. There's a link in the description right there. It's right by the Patreon link. So yeah, that's about it. I think I said about enough. Yeah, God bless y'all. Till next time. And thank you for the congratulations on newborn. She's amazing. Smiles all day. So, except for when she's crying, of course. But then just pick her up and she's happy as hell. So, yeah. All right. God bless y'all. Till next time. Stay humble, lift noise. God bless. Be bold in what you do and keep chasing your dreams. Run with them. That's gonna be a shirt. Like, I remember it was like an IG post that said, it was just a picture of me with the lifted noise shirt on, and I captioned it, "Don't chase your dreams, run with them." That's gonna be a shirt, right? No one steal that until I make it a shirt. Don't chase your dreams, run with them. You know what I mean? Just take a picture of that. Like, it's not, chasing your dream. Wow, people would say that's like a good thing. Yeah, it is. I mean, but eventually you got to get to that level next to it. So you're not just like always behind it, trying to chase it. Like, you're actually in a dream, like you're in a dream. You ever had a dream where you're like running and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere? I've had those dreams. So don't have those kind of dreams. Don't chase those kind of dreams. Run with your dreams, side by side. Live it. All right. God bless. Peace.